Okay, picture this. You're on a steel island, miles and miles from the nearest shore, with nothing around you but the deep, dark ocean. All of a sudden, an alarm starts blaring. And no, this isn't a drill. In what is literally one of the most dangerous workplaces on Earth, what happens in the next few seconds is the difference between a controlled response and a total catastrophe.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How do you survive when help is hours, maybe even days away? Survival out here can't be left to chance. It has to be meticulously planned, down to the last detail. So how in the world do they do it? Let's dive in to the blueprint for survival.
All right, to really get the plan, you first have to understand the place. See, these facilities, they're not just oil rigs or ships. They are something way more complex. That is honestly the best way to think about it. It's a floating city. It's got its own power plant, its own housing, its own massive industrial complex, all packed into this incredibly tiny space. But, as you can imagine, a city like this comes with a very unique set of challenges.
And here's the crazy part. It's how all these things feed into each other. Total isolation means you can't just dial 911 and get the fire department. That limited space means a small fire can become a huge problem, like instantly. And when you have large crews working 24/7, surrounded by highly volatile stuff, yeah, the potential for disaster is always there. Every single risk is just amplified.
So the plan has to be ready for absolutely anything, because threats can come from any direction. We're not just talking about the obvious operational risks, like a fire. It could be a collision with another ship, a critical mooring line snapping in a monster storm, a major oil spill, or even a security breach. The plan has to cover the whole shebang.
So you're faced with this incredible laundry list of risks. How do you stop chaos from taking over? Well, you create a playbook. A super detailed, constantly rehearsed, and rigorously enforced plan for every single thing that could possibly go wrong.
And this is it. It's called the Shipboard Emergency Contingency Plan, or SECP for short. But listen, this is not just some dusty binder sitting on a shelf. This thing is the central nervous system for the facility's entire emergency response. It's designed to turn pure panic into calm procedure and total chaos into controlled action.
And its goals? Well, they are crystal clear. Goal number 1, above absolutely everything else, is protecting human life. But it also makes sure all the teams are ready to go, that communication flows perfectly, and that every safety rule is followed to the letter. The key thing here is that it's a holistic approach, right? It's designed to protect people first, for sure, but also the facility and the environment.
So what's actually inside this playbook? Let's pop the hood and break down the plan into its two main parts: the people and the tools they have to work with.
Okay, so the whole organizational structure is built on this idea called an incident command system. This isn't about red tape or bureaucracy. It's about absolute clarity. Everybody knows exactly who's in charge, who makes the critical calls, and how information gets shared. The whole thing is designed for speed and precision when you're under the most extreme pressure imaginable.
And that brings us to the human side of the plan. See, it's not just one generic emergency team. It's a bunch of highly specialized crews. You've got your firefighters, right? Then you have well control experts whose only job is to shut down the source of a blowout. You have medics, and you have a marine team focused on one thing: keeping that whole massive facility stable and safe. Each team has a critical, predefined job to do.
Now let's talk about the hardware. The life-saving appliances are basically split into two main buckets. First, you've got the personal stuff, the gear designed to keep you alive, like an immersion suit that can save you in freezing water. Then you've got the collective gear. We're talking the heavy-duty equipment like those futuristic-looking, fully enclosed lifeboats, designed to get everyone in our city at sea to safety.
And you see that same layered thinking when it comes to fighting fires. It all starts with this web of detectors to give the earliest possible warning. Then you have the alarms. If a fire does start, you've got portable tools right there for the first response. But for a really big event, massive, fixed systems, like a deluge system that can dump literally tons of water on one area, are fired up to knock the fire down. It is defense in depth.
So, we've got the highly trained people, we've got the high-tech tools, but how does it all come together when that alarm finally goes off for real? Let's walk through the exact procedure.
Okay, this is the critical sequence in those first few moments. And notice, step 1, anyone can detect a problem and raise the alarm. There's no hierarchy there. If you see something, you say something. And from that one single action, this whole cascade is triggered. Alarms scream across the facility, the command structure immediately kicks in, and those specialized teams are on the move.
It's a flow that's designed to kill confusion and buy precious, precious seconds.
So while those specialized teams are sprinting towards the danger, what is every single other person on that rig doing? Well, they have one job. One and only one initial job. Get to their designated muster point. This is not a suggestion. This is pure muscle memory, drilled into them from day one.
The muster point is basically the hub of accountability. It's where the head count happens, which lets the incident commander know immediately if anyone is missing and where they might be. It's a place of discipline waiting, where clear instructions are given for what comes next, whether that's to shelter in place or get ready to evacuate.
Now, it's really important to know that this plan to protect people, the SCKIP, it doesn't operate in a vacuum. It's tightly integrated with other crucial plans. The big one is the Shipboard Oil Pollution Emergency Plan, or SOPIP. So while the SCKIP is laser-focused on protecting people and the facility, SOPIP is all about protecting the marine environment from pollution. The two plans work hand in glove.
And get this, these plans aren't just static documents filed away in some cabinet. Nope, they are living, breathing systems. They're tested constantly through drills, day drills, night drills, drills for every scenario you can dream up. And after every single drill or after any real incident, the plan gets reviewed and refined. It's this relentless cycle of practice and improvement.
So, when we zoom back out and look at the big picture, what's the major takeaway here? What does this incredibly intricate system really represent?
Well, it represents a layered defense. You essentially have three core integrated plans that create a total safety shield. You've got the SCP for the safety of the crew, you've got the ISPS plan for security threats, and you have the SOPEP plan to protect the environment. Together, they form one comprehensive blueprint for survival.
And that really is the whole story. In a place where so much can go wrong, safety can't be an afterthought or something you bolt on at the end. It has to be the primary design feature. Every procedure, every team, and every piece of equipment is part of this enormous, deliberate effort to literally engineer survival.
It kind of makes you think, doesn't it? From the emergency exit plans in the building you're in right now, to the air traffic control systems managing the skies above you, we are all surrounded by these complex safety plans that we never even see. So what are the hidden blueprints that keep your world safe every single day?